Good afternoon, secret friends. Oh, that's interesting. I think that's actually got something to do with where we're going today. Good afternoon, super friends, and welcome to the Sacred News and Weather. This is Friday, August 7th. Thank you so much for being here. I'm coming to you from the lanai of our little rental condo in Kauai, and I apologize for not showing you the ocean, which I'm sure you are hearing right now, but when I tried to sit in front so that you could see the ocean, you could not see me with the way the lighting is right now in this time of day. So you are going to hear the ocean in the background, you're going to hear the birds, you may be hearing my children. I actually just started filming a video and suddenly my son came out playing Mission Impossible on his ukulele and I was like, you guys, I told you I was recording a video, but you know, it is what it is. We're on vacation. We're doing what we can. I am fresh from the shower. We are on our way to a luau this evening. I'm very excited. I've got wet hair, but I'm clean. I am not sunburned, even though I look kind of ruddy in this light. I am very, very Hawaiian tan. It's like 50 sunscreen and a hat, and you just can't help but get sun. I've been laying in the ocean, just hooting and bobbing and weaving and receiving and letting go, and it has been just delightful. All right, without any further ado, I am going to give you my preamble, which is, as with everything I do, please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Know that these messages are timeless, so whether you're tuning in real time on Friday, August 7th, or at a later date, if you are tuning in here, there's likely going to be something for you. If you are not seeing yourself, go ahead and turn me off. Tune in down below. There are many more messages down there, and there are many more to come. I do believe, and I alluded to this when I called us secret friends, that we are going to be looking at a relationship today. Sorry, I don't know, it's some sort of drop of moisture flew out of a tree. We're going to be looking at a very specific message today. I think this is going to be a relational message based on, first of all, secret friends, and also what I heard and saw this morning for us in the wee small hours of my 3:30 a.m. meditation. I'm still on California time, unfortunately, but I did get a nap in. So, all right. I think that is all I have to say before I go ahead and get started. So, secret friends, what I heard this morning was you are offering them the feast and they are snacking. And so, again, this is going to be a very specific message, and I feel like we are dealing with a third-party energy, which can be a person, it can be a person that you don't know about, or because time and space is a little bit elusive, and even as I close my eyes now, I'm feeling a little bit like, woo, like wonky, almost like I'm in a boat on those waves, and I can assure you that this is not something I feel all the time here. I've been meditating in this spot every morning, and this is new. So what I'm feeling is that some of you already know about this third-party energy, and some of you are just finding out, and some of you have yet to find out, but your intuition has been telling you that there is something off. Now, third-party energies do not have to be a person. Third-party energies can be, or at least like another woman or another man. Third-party energies can be family, third-party energies can be work, third-party energies can be anything that is distracting your person from your relationship. Though with secrets, I do have the sense that for many of you this is another person, and I also have a sense that you have suspected, known, or already know for certain that this has been happening. So in any relationship at all, there are two people, and there's a he said, she said, or she said, she said, or he said, depending upon your configuration, and it really doesn't matter here. But there's also a third energy. So I will always say it takes two, but honestly, there are three perspectives here, and there's the perspective of spirit, and what I'm going to try and deliver to you today is the perspective of spirit as spirit is moving through me So again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. This may or may not be your message, and don't make yourself fit, especially for these really tender, possibly life changing, though I'm not changing your life. You're changing your life and your relationship status, but sometimes these messages are the nudge that you need to choose something new for yourself. And that is definitely the flavor of what I'm getting here today. So what came through around feast and snacking is that you have been offering your person a feast, and they have been choosing to snack around it and not accept what you are offering. And what I'm getting is that you are the sort of person who, rather than turning toward your person, the person to whom you are offering the feast, and asking, like, what is happening in their life? What is happening that is making them not choose this beautiful feast, this beautiful love offering, this beautiful life offering that you have been giving to them. And I'm saying this because Spirit is showing me this full, luscious, beautiful table of all sorts of treats and all sorts of mysteries and all sorts of wonder to be feasted upon. And instead, your dude is like going to Burger King or Taco Bell or something, while still, in some cases, sitting at your table. In other cases, they have turned their back. I'm seeing they've turned their back on your table, and they are choosing to snack elsewhere. They're choosing fast food. They're choosing like trash, when what you have is the nutritive, rich, luscious version of life and love in front of them. And because you, because you are the person you are, rather than saying, dudette, WTF, like, what is your problem? You have instead turned inward and almost turned on yourself to ask yourself what it is that you've missed, what it is that you're doing wrong, what it is that's wrong with you. And you are really churning yourself and turning yourself inside out. And what Spirit wants me to tell you is stop, basta, enough. Because the problem is not inside of you. It is not something that you have not offered. It is not that you are offering too much. It is this person, it is your person's inability to accept the feast, to accept that they are worthy of your feast and able to offer you a feast in turn, to turn around and offer you their smorgasbord, to turn around and offer you all that they have to offer. For whatever reason, whatever is happening in your person is the reason that they are not accepting the feast. And so first and foremost, Spirit wants you to know that it's not you. And what I'm hearing here as I'm saying that is that you have already done the work. You have already, like, I'm seeing, and granted, I've been seeing a lot of sea turtles here, like so many beautiful, amazing sea turtles, but I'm seeing like tortoise shells being overturned. Like, you have uncovered, you have overturned every option, every part of what you could have possibly done wrong. And I have the sense that if your person would turn around and face the table rather than going off to Burger King or KFC, if your person would turn around and face the table, they would see and know, and you would even tell them, this is what I figured out about myself. This is what I have done. This is what I have not done. This is what I've overdone. This is what I've underdone. Like, you have unpacked every ounce of your role in this situation, and they are still choosing to turn their backs on this feast. And here is what Spirit wants you to know about that. And this is, again, where, like, he said, she said, she said, she said, but it's really what Spirit wants you to know here. What is coming through for your person, or coming through in the voice of your person, is very much that worthiness piece. It is very much the worthiness piece. They feel like they don't have anything to turn around and put on the table. And rather than turning and facing you and saying, I've got nothing to offer you right now, they didn't have that conversation. They have not had that conversation with you. Instead, they turned their back and started snacking elsewhere, and leaving you to guess what it is that has gone awry, leaving you to guess what it is that has gone wrong or that you might have done wrong. And what Spirit wants you to know is that, again, it's not you, and that they are working on their end of the bargain. Now, here is where it gets sticky. Because what I can also see is that for some of you, it is already too little too late. For some of you, I just heard also that I need to address the third party here. I need to address the third party, and I will address the third party. For some, I think right now what I'm speaking to is the third party, a situation where the third party, again, is fast food. It's trash. It is not a relationship. It is not something that they actually want to invest in. What I'm seeing here is like Empress and Emperor energy, in that your person is not an Empress or an Emperor. Your person is more like a page or a knight, for those of you who are familiar with tarot. But they see you as the Emperor or the Empress. They are just unable to match you in their energy, or they feel like they're unable to match you. So they are looking for like quick fixes and dopamine hits and easy outs and easy distractions. And it's because of their own worthiness issues. It is because of where their energy and attention is that they are unable to turn around and face the table and meet you at the table to have a discussion. For those of you for whom this person is in a third party relationship, again, this person, here's, I'm sorry, I'm pausing. So for some of you, it really is like a dopamine hit, a quick fix, like a fast acting, like somebody quick, like put out this fire inside of me, this like passionate fire inside of me, and like relieve this burden. They think that by getting the quick fix and the passion met, that it's going to actually relieve the pain that they're in, that relieve the problem that caused them to turn their backs on you in the first place. And of course, they are learning the hard way that that is not actually true, because they're holding you in the Emperor or Empress light. There's another, I'm sorry, this is all happening very fast, so I'm trying to keep up with my own channeling here. There's another scenario here where they have returned back to someone from the past. They've returned to someone from the past who also is, it's not quite fast food, because it is feeding some part of them. It's feeding a comforting part of them. It's more like, so here's what I'm seeing, or here's what I'm hearing. It's like grandma's biscuits and gravy, and I don't know what that means, because my grandmother never made biscuits and gravy, and it's making me laugh because it's so specific. But it's like they're returning for something old and comfortable that was never actually good for them in the first place. And so I think that's what grandma's biscuits and gravy are. I'm sorry, it's making me laugh because it's so not mine, and it's wonderful. Grandma's biscuits and gravy. Yeah, they're returning to like an old comfort food that is not actually good for them, and they're not actually getting what they need from it, and it's actually making them a little sick to their stomach, because they know that what they actually need to do is turn around and face their Emperor and Empress, and they need to hold their own Emperor Empress energy to meet you at the feast that you are offering. And for some of you, you have already like walked. You're already like, I'm out. Nope. And if this is you, if you're like, yeah, this is my story and I left the table, he or she is no longer welcome at my table, Spirit wants you to know, like, off you go. This is beautiful. This is wonderful. You know your heart. You know what's in your heart, and off you go. If you are in the position of still like sitting at the table, or you have like, I can see like this sort of split, like I've got 1 foot at the table and 1 foot out the door, here is what Spirit is showing me. And I feel like this is what the gist of what I was getting this morning in this message is, that there is a new beginning coming. So I saw the energy of the Fool. I saw the energy of Aleph, which is the Hebrew letter for new beginnings. It's a creation frequency for new beginnings. I'm also seeing the World card, which is it Tav? I think it's Tav. I'm not seeing the Hebrew letter, but I'm seeing the World card, and the World is the ending of a cycle and a new beginning. And what I'm seeing is, for some of you here, there really is the end of a cycle and the beginning of something new happening, where your person is going to turn and face the table, and they are going to bring forward this truth. They are going to bring forward this truth for you to sit with, even though I think you already know this truth inside your heart. I don't believe when this person turns and faces you and comes forward and shares this truth, tells you this truth, that they are actually going to surprise you. What I feel like is going to surprise you is not the information that they are imparting, but the way that you receive it. And so part of this message, if this is your message, is to prepare you for the way you are going to receive their telling of a truth that you already knew in your heart or suspected in your heart. I can't tell you how you are going to feel when you receive it, because I'm seeing like a myriad of responses here. I'm getting like, I think I might have said this earlier in the reading, I'm getting like a little bit dizzy. Like I feel like I'm riding, I feel like I'm on a boat right now, and like the waves are bobbing up and down. And again, if I said this earlier, I apologize. I know that I'm hearing waves out here, but I promise you I've sat here and meditated every single day, and I don't have this feeling when I'm meditating. It is very specific to the energy of this reading, and it feels like their sharing of the truth is going to feel a little bit like this in your body, where there's going to be like world shifting, and your world is going to be rocking, and you're not going to feel certain where you are going to land. And I think I'm supposed to be preparing you for that moment, because I believe that some of you believe you know how you're going to respond, and for some of you, your response is going to be to like go forward and push on that truth and be like, yeah, fuck you, or whatever it is that you're going to say. And some of you are thinking you're going to hold it as, I know, thank you for telling me. What do you want now, and where do you want to go from here? Where are we going from here? And I feel like you already have the sense of where you fit on that spectrum, but what Spirit wants you to know is it is going to land differently in your body, and it's going to be very ungrounding for you. And so Spirit wants me to prepare you to receive the truth from your person, because it is not going to land how you expect it to land. I also, what I'm getting now is that Spirit wants you to know that when your person delivers their truth, I can see where this person has been rehearsing and practicing and writing and chat GPTing and trying to find the exact perfect words for you to deliver the message in such a way that it conveys the depth of their feeling for you. Remember, if this is your person, if this is your story, they're holding you as an emperor or an empress. They are holding you in the highest, really the most elevated way that they could hold another person. Even if they haven't been treating you that way, even if they turn their back on you, they've been holding you and your energy in the frequency of, this is my emperor, this is my empress. They deserve to be treated with the utmost respect, and I disrespected them, and now I need to come forward and share this truth with them. And they are practiced. They've been writing text messages and taking them back. They've been writing emails. They've been chat GPTing. I don't think they've been talking to people about this. Maybe if they're in therapy, or if they have a coach, they've been talking with someone about this, but they have been practicing how they're going to come forward, and the way they come forward and what comes out of their mouth is going to be very different than what they practiced, and it's going to be awkward, and it's going to be stuttery, and it's going to be weird, and it's going to be in some ways not what you want to hear. But I want you to stay in your empress or emperor energy and receive it the way it is delivered. And I want you to hold this message in your heart, my message, not my message, but Spirit's message for you in your heart as you're receiving it, and know that however awkward, however imperfect, however weird, however wacky it comes out of their mouth, I want you to know that they mean it from the depths of their soul and their bottom of their heart. I hear my daughter yelling in the background. I hope you didn't hear her. I want you to know that they mean this apology. They mean their love. They mean the courage that it took for them to finally come forward and deliver their truth across this beautiful table that you laid. Even if it sputters, even if it drools, even if it is not delightful in its delivery. I want you to feel what's underneath it. I want you to feel the way they feel unsteady, and I want you to feel the way you feel unsteady. And I just want you to hold your person in as much unconditional love as you can possibly muster. And I'm going to say this also. Hold your person in unconditional love. Hold yourself in unconditional love. And holding each other in unconditional love does not mean anything about what happens next. I'm going to say that again. Holding your person and allowing your person to come forward in unconditional love, allowing unconditional love to be present in this dialogue at the table that they have finally stepped up to, does not mean that you owe them any sort of outcome from the delivery of their truth, nor do they owe you any sort of promise from the delivery of their truth. What wants to come forward is a recognition that they see the feast that you have laid. They know how beautiful and worthy and gorgeous it is. They are desiring to sit at this table with you and speak their truth and their apology and their perhaps confession. And from there, the two of you get to be in choice. But I want you to really do your best and see your person through a lens of unconditional love. Again, it doesn't mean you need to let them off the hook for whatever truth they are going to share with you. It doesn't mean you have to like it. It doesn't mean that you're going to take them back. It doesn't mean that they are coming forward to share this truth because they want to be in relationship with you. It feels like this is a moment in time for something to be healed, and I want you to let that, whatever that healing needs to happen, I want you to let the healing happen. And once that healing and that unconditional love enters the frequency, the two of you can be in choice about what happens next. And I'm going to leave this here. And I'm going to say thank you so very much for being here. Please like and share and subscribe and tell your friends and hype and come and see me. Tomorrow is Saturday. What am I doing tomorrow? Oh, tomorrow is the phony 88 Lionsgate portal that I don't believe it's a real thing. I am hard pressed to believe that anything in the Julian calendar is actually magical and mystical. But I also think, like, hey, why not? Why not make a wish and hope that it manifests? And I am going to be spending the day with the kids at the Grand Hyatt on Kauai in their beautiful pools and their beautiful settings. So we're going to spend the day there. So I may or may not be in tomorrow, but I will definitely be in somewhere and sometime this weekend. I think Sunday is also a boat ride to the Nepali coast. So we'll see when I get in here. I will get in here at some point. But thank you so much for being here, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.